Napoleon Bonaparte was a figure who instilled terror across the world in the 18th century. With his genius, tactical mind, and bold reforms, Napoleon left an indelible mark on the world map. However, behind the image of a great leader lay a man with a complex personality, possibly even a split personality, leaving many to wonder about his true nature. What's more, few people know that, although he ruled France, Napoleon was actually Italian. So, was Napoleon truly the hero the French hailed, or was he merely a tyrant who spread fear, much like Hitler? Join History Journey as we uncover shocking truths about Napoleon that you may have never known. Napoleon was not French. Napoleon was born on August 15, 1769, in Corsica, an island that had just been transferred from Genoese to French control only a year before his birth. His native language was Italian, and he spoke French with a distinct Corsican accent throughout his life, a way of speaking that was looked down upon and scorned at the time. Because of this, he was excluded from any French aristocratic gatherings in his childhood. This exclusion is also why he conquered all of Europe, to avenge the humiliation he had endured in his youth. However, fate did not spare him from loneliness and rejection during the years of his exile at the hands of the British colonists in his final days. So, was this a fitting punishment for what he had done, or was it an injustice for an extraordinary hero to endure such suffering at the end of his life? Like Hitler, Napoleon was responsible for the deaths of millions. Despite being a military genius, Napoleon's wars caused enormous devastation. His campaigns led to the deaths of approximately 3.5 to 6 million people, including both soldiers and civilians. Napoleon's wars ravaged Europe, and the immense loss of life reshaped the political and social structure of the continent, making him one of the villains of the nations at the time. In your opinion, was he a villain or a hero? Could Napoleon have been poisoned with arsenic because he refused to submit to the British? There is much debate surrounding the cause of Napoleon's death. Officially, he died of stomach cancer in 1821, but some researchers suggest he may have been poisoned with arsenic. Hair samples taken from his body showed high levels of arsenic, though it is unclear whether this was intentional or due to environmental factors. Some believe that the assassination of Napoleon was intended to prevent the revival of the French Empire. Napoleon was known for his exceptional leadership and military talent. His presence and influence could have sparked a resurgence of French nationalism and revived the ambitions of expanding the French Empire. After Napoleon escaped from the island of Elba and returned to France during the 100 Days, he reasserted himself as a significant threat to the stability of Europe, and especially to British interests. If he had survived and continued to regain power, it could have led to major political and military changes, posing a risk to other nations. Under Napoleon, France became a major power in Europe, at times overshadowing British dominance. Removing Napoleon could be seen as a step toward reducing France's influence and strengthening British dominance in the region. So do you think that Napoleon truly died of stomach cancer? Or was there a force, particularly the British, behind the death of this extraordinary emperor? Napoleon survived 16 assassination attempts between 1800 and 1805. From 1800 to 1805, Napoleon narrowly escaped assassination attempts 16 times. Below are some of the most notable incidents in which he luckily survived. The plot of the Rue Saint-Nicaise, 1800. This is one of the most famous assassination plots against Napoleon. A large explosive device, called the Machine Infernale, was placed near Napoleon's path in Paris. The explosion killed 22 people and injured over 50, but Napoleon and his wife Josephine narrowly escaped as their carriage passed by just moments before the device detonated. The conspirators used an old cart in which they hid a large quantity of gunpowder and metal fragments, designed to act as a massive bomb. The gunpowder was stored in a hollow barrel, and the cart was made to look like a normal delivery wagon to conceal its true purpose. On the evening of December 24th, the cart was placed on Rue Saint-Nicaise, a road known to be part of Napoleon's route to the Paris Opera House. As Napoleon's convoy approached, a man activated the explosive device. However, due to a miscalculation in timing, the explosion occurred after Napoleon's carriage had already passed, allowing him to escape unharmed too. The Cadoudal assassination plot, 1804. Cadoudal received support from monarchist forces abroad, particularly from Britain, which provided financial backing and resources to support his plan. Cadoudal and his allies secretly traveled to Paris and established an underground communication network to prepare for the assassination. They planned to assassinate Napoleon while he traveled between the Tuileries Palace and his private residence. Cadoudal's group attempted to figure out Napoleon's travel schedule to find the right moment for the assassination. However, Napoleon's spy network successfully uncovered and foiled the plot before it could be executed. Cadoudal and many of his group members were arrested. Cadoudal and other conspirators were tried and sentenced to death. They were executed by guillotine, marking the end of one of the most serious assassination attempts against Napoleon. 3. The assassination plot at the Opera House in 1800. This was another unsuccessful attempt to remove Napoleon from power. However, there are not many specific details recorded about this plot in history, especially compared to the more famous plot of the Rue Saint-Nicaise that occurred the same year. The plot was planned for a performance at the Paris Opera House, a venue that Napoleon frequently attended. The plan might have involved using the crowd and chaos at the cultural event to conceal the assassination attempt. The method possibly included the use of daggers or guns, weapons easily concealed in clothing, and that could be used almost instantly in a crowded environment like the Opera House. Napoleon's mysterious talisman, fate or just superstition? Throughout his military career, Napoleon Bonaparte was said to always carry a very special talisman. This talisman was made of black obsidian, small, teardrop-shaped, and engraved with ancient Egyptian symbols. It is said that Napoleon received the talisman during his conquest of Egypt in 1798 from a mysterious Egyptian priest. The talisman was believed to belong to Pharaoh Akhenaten, a legendary king of ancient Egypt. The priest claimed that the talisman was created through an ancient ritual, protecting its owner from death in fierce battles. The talisman, protective power or mere superstition? Napoleon participated in countless battles, from the Egyptian campaign to the Battle of Austerlitz, and he always miraculously escaped death. Many believe that this talisman acted as a shield, protecting him from danger. There are even stories that during the Battle of Marengo, when Napoleon was surrounded by enemies, an arrow shot toward him. But strangely, it veered off course and missed. Could it have been the talisman that intervened? The mysterious disappearance of the talisman. What is notable, however, is that after the devastating defeat at the Battle of Leipzig in 1813, the mysterious talisman suddenly disappeared. Was this a sign of his impending downfall? It was rumored that after the battle, while removing his armor, Napoleon realized the talisman was no longer with him. From that moment on, his fate seemed to take a downward turn. Some researchers have questioned, did someone deliberately steal the talisman? Or did it vanish on its own because Napoleon's time had come? A conspiracy to steal the talisman? One theory suggests that Napoleon's enemies, possibly the British or one of his treacherous generals, stole the talisman to ensure that he would never win another battle. The talisman's disappearance coincided with Napoleon's successive defeats, fueling belief in this conspiracy theory. It was said that after losing the talisman, Napoleon would often wake up in the middle of the night, haunted by dreams of spirits seeking revenge, as if a curse was following him until the end of his life. A tragic end on St. Helena Island. After being exiled to St. Helena, Napoleon never spoke of the talisman again. Some believe that the loss of the talisman caused him to lose his final layer of protection, leading to his mysterious death. many questions still surround his death. Did Napoleon truly die of illness, or was the disappearance of the talisman the sign of his predetermined tragic fate? Napoleon's talisman, with its mysterious appearance and ancient origins, remains a part of unsolved legends, leaving behind the question of whether power and superstition were intertwined so tightly in the life of this great emperor.